Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday's market wrap up here. TOPGUN Options, Matthew Buckley, call sign Wiz. And man, take a look at that chart. If you had joined us back in April when I said, hey man, buy this market with both hands, you are up triple digits in our bullish on America trade. Or did you panic and listen to the so-called smart money, or as I call them, the dumb money? Man, we are absolutely crushing it here at TOPGUN Options. Markets at record highs, and we are setting up for a second half of the year, or we're already in the second half of the year rally. So here's what I'm going to do. Wednesday night at 8 p.m., I'm going to open up the doors to our Lifetime group. Our Lifetime membership is our most elite membership here at TOPGUN Options. Here's the registration form. go.topgunoptions.com/MAB, Max Afterburner, member registration. Now, I was just going to open this up to our current members only. I'm going to open it up to the public because we had, last time I opened up the Lifetime membership, we had somebody walk in off the street and wanted to join and go straight to Lifetime. So we're going to let the unwashed masses in, so to speak. So whether you're a current TGO member or coming in off the street, register for my brief Wednesday night. We're going to talk some market stuff, but I'm going to also open up the doors to our Lifetime team. And I only do this maybe once a year, maybe twice a year at most. I'm going to offer up the ability for you to split some of your Lifetime investment to the No Fallen Heroes Foundation. So you're going to put the ladder down to help save and change the lives of our nation's heroes, our veterans, our first responders, and their family members. So not only are you getting to help save and change lives, you're going to get a tax write-off, a massive tax break with this, okay? So go.topgunoptions.com/MAB, Max Afterburner, -member -registration. I'll put this in the email. I'll put this in the comments section or the description of this video on the TOPGUN Options YouTube channel. It'll be on my link tree on social media, that link for you to join. Okay, man, President's on the way to Alaska. What a baller move, man. Inviting Putin to meet him on former Russian territory. That kind of sends a little bit of a message, right? So I don't know, man, but the fact that we're even talking about peace is awesome. Close to 4 years into this war. It's got to stop, man. Enough with the killing. This would help alleviate some uncertainty in markets and help with the second half of the year rally here. But we'll see what happens. You know as much as I do. So, hey, this week, man, one inflation gauge just rose the fastest in 3 years. This was bad news, man. This was yesterday. The PPI, the Producer Price Index, folks, went through the roof. That is not good. So I actually blasted out a trade yesterday that was bearish. Wait, hold on, Wiz. Look at this market here. Let's take a look at a three-month chart of the S&P 500. When you talk about getting bearish, Wiz, folks, we are way over our ski tips here. Look at that. And the market's already started to turn. We've topped out at here. But why did I put not only a bearish trade, this trade is called a burner trade. I think we're going to have a violent move down next week, towards the end of next week, maybe even get close to 6,400. Why? This. So once a year, the Fed hosts all the beautiful people. The Fed has a big meeting out in Jackson Hole, right? They get to put on their Patagonias and look cool and compliment each other on how good looking they are. But ladies and gentlemen, the current odds of a September rate cut are through the roof. They're like in the 90s, 90% probability we're getting a rate cut in September. I don't think that's going to happen. First of all, Jerome Powell can't stand Donald Trump. The Treasury Secretary yesterday or the day before or whenever it was is calling for a 50 basis cut in September, let alone a 25. I don't know, man. The CPI came in line, but the PPI came in smoking hot. So if next Friday, Jerome Powell's speaking next Friday morning, folks, if he brings some heat and starts tamping down, hey, man, inflation ain't where it is. We're probably going to sit on our hands. The market's going to flip out, and not in a good way, to the downside, okay? Look at that headline. Will Powell use Jackson Hole's speech to push back on hopes for a rate cut? Why do markets go up, folks? Hope. Why do markets crash? Fear. So ladies and gentlemen, this rip your face off rally, kind of has a September rate cut priced in. So if Jerome Powell says, not so fast, I don't know if we're cutting in September, we will implode next week, towards the end of next week. So what did I do? I sent this out to my members yesterday. It's a burner trade, an S&P 500 burner trade out to next Friday. It's a bear call spread that's funding the purchase of a put. I'm not going to show you that trade too long because it's not free. You got to join, man. But that trade's going to print money if or when next week we pull back. I can teach you here at TOPGUN Options that you can make money as markets go down. As a matter of fact, I prefer down markets. I prefer the blood in the streets because we print money. Volatility, I love the hurricanes, folks, because I'm an options trader. Why haven't tariffs boosted inflation? This new theory is gaining traction. New research suggests the actual tariff rates were below what economists have suspected. So again, folks, another demonstration of how the smart money is completely stupid. They got it wrong. So again, man, this ain't hard. This ain't rocket surgery, folks. We know what we're doing here at TOPGUN Options, and we're printing money, okay? The president just nominated a new BLS chief who's a hyper-partisan. Technically, that shouldn't be bullish. I want actual data, right? I don't want fudge numbers. I don't want partisan numbers. I don't want Democrat or Republican numbers. I want truth. I want the truth, right? A few good men. But this is going to be bullish. Having Trump people in the government where they're reporting allegedly honest numbers is going to be bullish. This was funny. Trump this week ripped the Goldman Sachs economist for getting the tariffs wrong and said, hey, you should fire him. And David Solomon, who's also a part-time DJ, you should stick to being a DJ. That was pretty funny this week as well. How about this? Intel. I don't know how this is constitutional. The U.S. is discussing taking a stake in Intel. I haven't looked at Intel stock in like 90,000 years because it's boring. INTC. Look at Intel recently. If the U.S. government, look at that in the past week and a half, from 18, 19 bucks to 25. Take a look at a 10-year chart of Intel. It's skimming along the trees here, folks. But hey, if Uncle Sam's taking a stake in your company, that's a put. You got some insurance under you. Maybe it's time to start. Maybe we'll cover this next week. We go out in time and do a long-term bullish synthetic stock position on Intel if Uncle Sam's going to be taking a stake. That's free money, folks. Amazon, rip your face off rally this week. Amazon launches same-day grocery, same day. Instacart, DoorDash, supermarket stocks tumble. This is the Death Star. This is the only stock you need to own because it destroys and takes over everything it touches. Instacart doomed. Goldman sees millions of Prime members flocking to Amazon's same-day grocery. I got blown out of some short calls today and a bear call spread over the past couple days because look at Amazon, man. Look at the past 10 days. When this got announced, what was it, yesterday morning? Boom! And we are not looking back. Look at Amazon, man. It is the Death Star. So there's the gap down on pretty good earnings. We didn't fill the cap. We were hovering. Now we popped through the gap fill. That is one of the most ultimate bullish signs. I have a burner trade out to January on Amazon. Where is it? Right here. The 180. Jan 26. So ladies and gentlemen, I have a bull put spread on out to January of 2026. That's financing the purchase of these 250 calls. What's the market saying? Look at this up here, January 16th, 2026. Where's the most bullish options activity? You ready? The 300 strike. I got 250 calls, man. Could you imagine Amazon being up at 300 in January 2026? That burner trade I have on Amazon is also going to print money. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, you got to throttle up. Join our most elite team here at TOPGUN Options. Go.topgunoptions.com/MAX Afterburner, MAB-member-registration. And I'm going to allow you to donate a portion of your fee, your investment, to the No Fallen Heroes Foundation. You get a great tax write-off, and you're going to pitch into the fight to save and change lives. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Fights on. Namaste and Basi. Whiz out.